communists hate America, and they hate America because it still holds to natural law and Christianity, at least to a degree, not like it used to, but it's still very present. And communists hate that because they hate God. If taking pot shots at America over the bodies of dead little girls is what they determine furthers their cause, well, then so be it. The flash floods in central Texas that claimed the lives of dozens have been turned into a flashpoint by Democrats. The river water rose at an unprecedented rate, sweeping away everything in its path, including the lives of many young girls at the Mystic Summer Camp. And on a personal note, my Houston parish, St. Michael the Archangel, was home to 3 of those young girls. Both Saturday and Sunday evenings, the parish held a rosary and a prayer service for their souls as well as for their families. And in what can only be described as vile and disgusting, Democrats around the country used the horror and the sadness as an opportunity to blame and attack Trump and his supporters. In perhaps the most blatant example of being hideous, because it comes from a sitting U.S. Senator, Chris Murphy of Connecticut. He posted this on his X account, quote, "Accurate weather forecasting helps avoid fatal disasters. There are consequences to Trump's brainless attacks on public workers, like meteorologists." Except his post is not true, and he knows it. But using dead children, to score political points, that's nothing new to communist Democrats. Murphy and many others are claiming that the Weather Service did not issue any warnings because the Trump cuts had resulted in too few staff. Total bullshit. Here is the Weather Service's statement proving the lies, as reported by the Associated Press. Again, from the AP, the National Weather Service office in New Braunfels, which delivers forecasts for Austin, San Antonio, and the surrounding areas, had extra staff on duty during the storms, Runyon said, where the office would typically have 2 forecasters on duty during clear weather. They had up to 5 staff. Quote, "There were extra people here that night, and that's typical in every Weather Service office. You staff up for an event, and you bring people in on overtime and hold people over," Runyon said. And not only were there extra staff added, the lies by the Democrats that no flood warnings were issued are also proven wrong by the weather bulletins issued by the Weather Service. Not only given during those given hours earlier the night before, but warnings naming the precise locations were issued as the flooding was beginning at 1:14 in the morning. There are no words to describe the evil that has seized control of almost all Democrats to weaponize a tragedy of this size and scope just to talk smack about Trump. Take a look at this small sampling of comments on X. Here's 8 of them. Various people on X went around and just sort of pulled some of their comments. Here's one from this Mrs. Butters. "Rutrow, Texas, what you gonna do? There's no FEMA to pick up by your bootstrap. They gave it all to ICE." Another one down here from Samurai Barbie. "Cry harder. Texas deserves it." This is talking about dead children. It's not awful, but it's what Texas deserves. Just some guy there. Juka. "Texas deserves every flood. God has spoken, and it hates Texas." Another one by Ron Flipikowski. This guy's all over X all the time, looking for every opportunity to slam America, Trump, whatever. "The people in Texas voted for government services controlled by Donald Trump and Greg Abbott, and that is exactly what they're getting." And one down here. "Good. I'm glad. Did it take Rogan with it too? I can only hope. Texas deserves it. It's God's will, of course. That's what God would have wanted, right, Republicans? Ha, 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 ha. My empathy for these redneck reject states is 0. So, F them. I hope more come. Let's start the hurricanes." It's incredible. But there's one in particular we'd like to call your attention to. It's that first one from Mrs. Butters. Take a look at it here. Again, "Rutrow, Texas, what you going to do? There's no FEMA to pick up by your bootstraps. They gave it all to ICE." Turns out that Mrs. Butters is actually a George Soros-funded dude whose real name is Carlos Alvarez Araños, who runs the political organization AmericanOpposition.org. Prior to that, He was one of many secret communists embedded in the federal bureaucracy as a contractor for the Defense Department. And, oh yeah, he helped with the phony Trump impeachment proceedings. Both of them. Communists hate America, and they hate America because it still holds to natural law and Christianity, at least to a degree, not like it used to, but it's still very present. And communists hate that because they hate God. If taking pot shots at America over the bodies of dead little girls is what they determine furthers their cause, well, then so be it. You know, you can't hate what these people do enough. Coming to you from Houston, Texas, praying for the dead and their families, I'm Gary Michael Voris. God love you.